This study is about agricultural commodity exchanges in Africa. The underlying idea of an agricultural commodity exchange is not new. Grain traders in Japan experimented with the idea back in 1730s, and Chicago Board of Trade launched its operation about 150 years ago in 1860s. However, organized agricultural commodity exchanges have been confined to industrialized nations for more than a century. Interest in setting up commodity exchanges in developing countries in general and in Africa in particular started following the structural adjustment programs. Some of the earliest starters in Africa are South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya, and Uganda. In this study, we try to review the experiences of these exchanges over the past 15 years or so. We find that except South Africa, none of these exchanges has been successful in terms of attracting volume and in terms of being financially sustainable. They either need government supports to stay afloat or some regulation that forces traders to bring their commodities to the exchange floor. The question is, why have they not been successful? We find that some of the critical fundamental preconditions for successful commodity exchange are lacking in many of these countries. So our conclusion is that there are key constraints in setting up commodity exchanges in Africa, and unless those preconditions can be met, commodity exchanges cannot be viable. The second finding we find in this study is that there is a large markets for export commodities like coffee, cocoa, and minerals, but still domestic exchanges have not been able to attract those commodities into the floor. And the question is why? The main reason is that there are well-functioning exchanges for those commodities abroad, and many traders are taking advantage of those exchanges abroad. As a result, domestic exchanges have not been able to penetrate into that market. Now, the question is, what can we do? We offer 3 recommendations in this study. Recommendation number 1 is, before launching an agricultural commodity exchange, the governments and their development partners should realistically assess whether the preconditions can be met. If precondition cannot be met and an exchange is launched, then that will not only be waste of financial resources, but also can have negative impact in terms of private sector's confidence in the market institution. Second recommendation is, which follows from the finding, is that if preconditions cannot be met, these countries can still use well-functioning exchanges abroad to mitigate the risk. And third recommendation we offer is that some of the preconditions can be met at the regional level. So the countries can go work towards setting up regional exchanges instead of setting up exchanges in every single country. The underlying idea for the exchange is to mitigate risk. And to mitigate risk, countries should focus on reducing transactions costs and addressing risk. And that does not necessarily mean that every country has to have exchange. Objective should be improving market efficiency and reducing transactions cost. Thank you.